All right, welcome back, everybody. This is set three here of the CEVO Team League, Team RS versus Team Stoic. We have one more try, the Orange Terran here playing for Team RS, looking to put the sweep on Team Stoic, going up against BaronFel in the 6 o'clock position is the yellow Protoss. If I could speak, that'd be great. As the yellow Protoss, so he is going to have Baron's got his work cut out for him because basically he's the only hope left. If he loses here, they are going to get sweep. Complaining about the CEVO client. CEVO does make you install an anti-cheat client. Not really. I don't think there are many cheats out for StarCraft yet just yet, but I'm sure. Come the future, those anti-trainer clients are going to be actually really useful. So they're the first ones to pioneer that here. We are closing down the weeks here. This is the second last week of CEVO, so getting a chance to get these replays in, get them online as quickly as possible, and try to get as many playoff coverage as we can deal with. As this is Iced from L2SCTV, and I'm of course joined by Bynum from Basement StarCraft and L2SCTV. So welcome.
Yeah, but before we get on to the game, while we're kind of getting all set up here, we do have a gateway coming from BaronFel and one more try building a Rax, which is standard, of course. So while they're getting all that done, I just want to say about this anti-cheat thing. Honestly, I program C, and it's a pretty easy language to learn, and there's just a huge wealth of information online about how to program things. And this is the kicker. It is so easy to program a program that just reads memory locations. And all you have to do is you get another program and you just search for a certain string or a certain value in memory, and then you find out where the position of these different memory locations are, and then what you can do is then you can start actually reading what your opponent builds straight off of memory. Or all these kinds of things just freely available to you. In every single patch update, all you have to do is change your offset of those memory locations, and then you'll be able to have that. No matter what patch they have, you'll be able to have it. And since it's only reading memory and not writing to memory, pretty much you can have a cheating device which allows you to see the build order of your enemy at all points in time, as well as even possibly the location of the units on the map. So anti-cheat is kind of a little bit strange, just because it's just too easy to make your own program, and there's going to be no way for anti-cheat to actually detect it unless it for some reason decides to check what's reading memory, which takes a lot of strength, and maybe that's what these players are complaining about. But anyways, enough of this ranting about anti-cheat.
You just told people how to create an anti-cheat. Or a cheat program,
like,
yeah.
Anyways, back to the game. Enough ranting about anti-cheat and how pointless it is. I mean, I'm saying it's better to have it, but I'm sure there's better ways of doing this than actually having this burden on your system, which just makes your computer even worse. And not all computers react to the same software in the same way, so one computer could be doing it a lot worse than the other one. Anyways, I'm gonna lay that one to bed. Maybe on some other podcast or rant, I'll mention it. But anyways, let's just get updated on what One More Try has done. One More Try is building Marauders here. He does have a reactor as well as a tech lab and an orbital command. Of course, going to the base of BaronFel, he does have a gateway, which oddly for me is colored gold, so a little bit of a cool gateway there. Building a second gateway as well as a robotics facility. All right, we're all cut up.
That's it. So yeah, Baron's gonna get 2 gate down. Robo, as you mentioned, pretty standard. Not really gonna get a chance. One More Try is gonna be the first look at expanding here. He's got the commands that are going down to the high ground. Gonna be nice and protected against scouting, as that Stalker isn't going to be able to get in there too handily. Marauders do not have concussive shell, but that Stalker's getting pinned in. So yeah, they're going to go engage. Stalker not going to be able to get out of there with his life, and it goes down. So Baron loses his scouting advantage. He is actually falling a little bit behind in terms of units, though. He only has the 1 sentry, as you mentioned. Warp gates are complete, but timing push here from One More Try would be very, very effective. But he has taken the opportunity to warp in some stalkers on the high ground. One more try also going to have the macro lead with that command center as the observer from Baron does pass over the entire base of the Terran here. Don't know if he saw it. I think he saw the observer kind of floating through. Couldn't really do anything about it, which isn't really necessarily a problem. Just knows that he's facing Robotech, so he won't be seeing an aggressive 4-gate or anything like that. So this is a good sign here for one more try. He's going to get down on the low ground, make sure that command center can land. He's actually going to push out a little bit here. One more try, reaching about middle ground now. Going to get spotted by the watchtower of BaronFel. BaronFel's got a probe on that northern watchtower. Very, very smart, as he pretty much saw the entire ball here. One more try, push out. Nexus going down on the low ground, though, for Baron. He's going to have a heck of a time defending that. 3 sentries, 2 stalkers. And 2 zealots. He's not going to be able to defend this as the push here from one more try does reach in. Observer floating right overhead, trying to cut it. Leaves a nice little gap there. The bulk of the army does get through, so the zealots are going to get shredded. Slow is complete. Stim is complete. This Nexus is just going to be canceled. BaronFel's got to be very careful. He has no sentries, cannot block the ramp. There is an Immortal out, chasing a Zealot. 1 Zealot goes down. 2nd Zealot does go down. There's just the Immortal and the Stalker. The Immortal's no way going to be able to stand up. Stalker for BaronFel goes down, and the 2nd Stalker warped in goes down. And that's it. One more try, cut right in here. Perfect timing. Good game. Let's go to Xel'Naga. BaronFel loses this last game here. One more chance right now for Team Stoic. Team RS just on a huge win streak.
It's a little bit upsetting because there was an 8-minute game and I spent about half of it ranting about anti-cheat, which makes me feel really bad that we missed 50% of the game due to me talking on a regular game that may only be like 10 or even less. But you can clearly see, they call Protoss the most micro-intensive race. Arguably, some people say Zerg is, and some people say Terran is, which I completely disagree with. But most people will say that Protoss is the most micro-intensive, and this is one of the cases where you have to realize that, okay, I have a huge... He saw the army coming in. He knew exactly what size it was. He has to look at his army and think objectively and think realistically, saying, okay, well, what can I do with this army? And obviously, he couldn't do anything. As soon as I saw the army move in, if it was me playing, I would have canceled that Nexus, bring all my units up to the top, bring the sentries especially, and force field the ramp continuously. They had quite a bit of energy, as you saw down there. They had enough to make 5 or 6 force fields. So this could have been a different outcome had he held off this attack, because of course the Terran player going for that, he does have a pretty good economy getting started. So it would have lasted longer if he force fielded the ramp, but at the same time, the Terran player would have eventually won anyways, because the Protoss player wouldn't have an expansion. Anyways, that's enough of this game. I'm going to stop the recording.